Don't you just love it when you wake up in the morning and you've got all the nostalgia going on? You're up over 8% in your portfolio, up $1,400 just to give it all back before the end of the day. What's up, guys? I'm Tyler Hearn. You've arrived at the No Ties Investor channel. For those of you that don't know, I started this channel just back a few months ago. And this is my investor journey. So what we're going to do is we're going to be covering some of the stocks that moved in the portfolio today and then just sold off.
He just sat on the porch like a goon and waited.
It sucks. Sometimes you just have to endure that. So what happened with SoFi stock today? Well, it came in and beat earnings expectations. Well, let me pull that down there. Came through. We beat the earnings expectations today. Revenue beat expectations. We're at a full incline. If you look here at the revenue over the last 5 years, it's just trended up, and up. Subscriber growth was also, I believe that beat expectations. What we're going to do here is we got, we'll go ahead and cover Fubo, and then we're going to listen to Anthony Noto talk about the company. So Fubo raised its quarter 2 view on revenue, which, they raised it from 373 from 352. This will be the first time that they're also going to have 285 million in cash equivalents, and the first time that they have been, positive on their EBITDA. My problem here is like that's not. The revenue is sliding. We just hit 416 in the last quarter, 443 in the quarter before that, 386. It's lower than all of these. What they're expecting is lower than all of these. So, I didn't have time to I didn't really think about this before this reaction occurred. Like if I would have locked in this morning, I would have took those profits. I'm going to be honest. Because I just made a episode where I sold some of my Fubo. I'm cashing up in the rollover account to transfer over to the Roth IRA account. I'm just use Weeble's little summary. It says, subscriber and revenue growth is declining, but a deal with Disney could provide the momentum needed. Fubo TV seen to drop in North American subscribers, flat international revenue with negative free cash flow. The Disney agreement offers scale, capital, and content leverage, potentially increasing its North American subscriber base to over 6.2 million. And I don't exactly understand how they think this is going to happen, because just because you got a deal and you got Hulu there, leave me a comment if you understand that. Like what would make people go from paying their Hulu subscription to Fubo, or would it be a package deal? I doubt it, right? How much you going to charge for that? Anyways, let's get over here to Mr. Anthony Noto.
Shares of SoFi are surging this morning. The company delivers a beat on the top and the bottom line, raises guidance going into year end, and reports some record high loan originations and announcing plans to return to crypto investing. Joining us this morning first on CNBC is SoFi CEO Anthony Noto. Anthony, great to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Carl. Thanks for having me.
We mentioned the loan numbers, but also the crypto investing. I mean, they're both powerful themes. Which one is more important right now?
Well, I'd say it's the combination of everything, Carl. We just reported 44% year-over-year revenue growth to $858 million with 29% operating margins. A lot of investors look at something called the rule of 40, which is revenue growth plus your EBITDA or operating income margin. And we hit 70 today, well in excess of 40. So we're seeing the growth of a technology company and the profitability of a financial company in one quarter, but it's actually happened for the last 13 quarters. And the thing that's really driving it is our diverse platform of businesses. Our strategy is to be a one-stop shop, which means we have to have products across borrow, save, spend, invest, and protect. And because we have that broad array of products, we're able to really diversify our growth and put capital in a lot of different areas to grow. This quarter actually saw exceptional growth across all three of our businesses, and that's how we got to 44% growth, which is our highest year-over-year growth rate in the last 2 years, with really strong profitability at 29% margins.
Yeah, we can look at the chart and you can see shares near, I think, at just about a 4-year high, going back to November of 21. Over a 1 month now, Anthony, your shares are outpacing Robinhood's, and I wonder if that is the kind of showdown you expect to get talked about a little bit more.
You know, we are a very different company. We have a very different strategy, especially when it comes to Invest. Invest is one product that's.
Hey, man. He wants to say, especially when it comes to investing, absolutely, because there's a bunch of degenerates over on Robinhood, and you know it. I started out with a Robinhood account. Everybody started out with a Robinhood account. They entice you to trade options. They put those options right in your face, and everybody does it. Everybody does it. And I'm just not going to encourage new investors to even touch options. They're very complicated products.
It's important to SoFi. Our formula is that we're helping Americans achieve their financial outcomes that will help them live the American dream. And in order to do that, they have to get their money right. And the formula for that's quite simple. They have to spend less than they make and invest the rest.
Absolutely.
When they invest, they have to take a long-term orientation. We try to educate investors to do dollar cost averaging in a diversified way. And our Invest service actually offers a broad range of products. Not only does it offer single stocks and fractional shares, we also offer IPOs, ETFs, automated investing through robo accounts, and our ETFs and robo has a couple of award-winning products. And then we also do private investments and alternative assets. You can invest in venture capital, private credit, private real estate, public long-short hedge funds, as well as private growth equity funds. That broad diversification is really focused on long-term investment and the concept of making sure you're spreading your money out to achieve long-term returns.
See, I like that he said what I said, just a lot more elegantly. Okay, we said the same thing. It's just he said they're a lot different, and they are. And you know what? I like that he said that, brick by brick, baby, building that portfolio brick by brick. I love that. I think the major reason why was these, the overall broader market sold off here. A bigger watch says all stocks. Yeah. So there you go. Tons of red out there today. So, it was kind of at a disadvantage already. And I think a reason for that is we're seeing a lot of this tariff news again. So like if you type in tariffs this morning, the tariff truce, they said they were going to extend it 90 days. Why he keeps extending it 90 days. I don't know why we're doing that. And all the news that I'm watching on CNBC about the tariff news. I mean, you can we'll watch one real quick.
Trade talks.
Well, I think the best thing that could happen is they extend the deadline to have these negotiations. I wouldn't expect a big deal coming out of these negotiations right now. Look, I think the European deal and the Japanese deal, it gives us a bit of a framework for where U.S. trade policy is headed. And the trade policy uncertainty now is coming down. For big trading partners like Europe and Japan, we're looking at about a 15% tariff rate, which is a little bit higher than we had expected. For other Asian countries, we're looking at 19 to 20%. And again, that goes to the White House's intention to curb Chinese transshipment. So this is the big deal. Obviously, the U.S.-China negotiations, the trade truce should hold because there's a lot of economic interdependencies. There will be occasional flare-ups. They will try to extract concessions from each other. This is a long-term negotiating process. The best thing, like you said, Sarah, would be just get a little bit more time, come out shaking hands, and I think that would be the best thing for the market.
Keep negotiating. Yeah. It's been interesting to watch.
So I just don't see how, I just can't get my head around why tariffs are, and leave a comment. Like, let me know why it's a good thing, but not for growth, right? And I believe he says that in a second. He's going to say it's not, it's going to hinder growth in a minute. I won't play any more of it, but, that's what everybody was worried about. Everybody was talking about that back in April. They were talking about how tariffs would hinder growth and everything. Where did all that fear go? I mean, this is the cues right here. We're just all-time high after all-time high, day after day after day after day. So I'm not going to be making any major purchases at these levels, not these extended PE ratios. I mean, they can keep kicking the can down the road, but I think the markets are getting a little desensitized to the idea of tariffs until we start to see the effects of those tariffs. So we'll see going forward. Also, this week we know the market's looking forward to the FOMC meeting tomorrow. So, be looking out for that, seeing if, Jerome Powell's going to cut interest rates. I don't think he's going to do anything. I think they know that they can't cut interest rates right now. They got too much uncertainty about the tariffs, and I think they're concerned that it'll cause more inflation. I don't hear many people saying that, but I don't see how it couldn't. If you start cutting the rates again and everybody starts, jumping on houses because they can't, it would stimulate the housing market, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm not an expert here, by no means. We saw the gross domestic product the last, back in June was better than expected, at 0.1%, and core PCE was better than expected this last quarter. But we'll be looking out for the FOMC meeting tomorrow. All right, so we'll go ahead and call it good. Keeping it under 14 minutes. Guys, I appreciate you coming into the channel today and checking things out. I will be posting again before the end of the week, and I appreciate you. I hope I earned your like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace out.